Good morning or good afternoon. I hope you guys are enjoying this snow day. I hope you are staying warm, you're staying safe, and if weather allows it, I hope you get to go outside and maybe enjoy a little bit of that fresh snow. Today, we are going to be talking about in this video telling time and elapsed time. So now, elapsed time is talking about how much time has passed. We're going to be counting hours and minutes. Okay. So first off, we're just going to look at a basic clock. Okay, I'm just going to draw a basic time on here. I'm going to have my big hand and then my little hand. Okay, so my big hand is going to represent the minutes. My little hand is going to represent the hours. I know in today's day and age, we all have phones, we have computers that usually tell us a digital clock or it tells us the time right away. But there are some times where you're going to need to be able to read one of these kinds of clocks in order to tell the time. For example, in our classroom, I don't have the time posted anywhere as a digital form except for on our TV. Other than that, you've got the big clock that's hanging above your backpacks, and that's how you can tell time. So, to talk about that, again, we said little hand, that represents the hours. So each hour is represented by a big number that goes around the clock. Now we know that once we hit noon or 12 o'clock for lunch, then we start back over at 1, unless we're doing military time. But since we were doing original time, it only goes to 12. So regardless of what time is shown here, it doesn't matter if it's AM or PM, the time will stay the same. Does that make sense? So let's look at this. So what number is my little arrow pointing to? The 3. It's pointing to the 3. So if I'm going to write that out, my time will be 3 for the hours. Okay? Now I need to look at my big hand. This is where it can get a little bit complicated. Okay? We've worked on multiplying by 5s. And so each little number, or each big number on here, is worth 5 minutes for the big hand. So if I go, what is 5 times 1? It's going to be 5. So when I'm at the 1, that's 5 minutes. Okay? If I go to the 2, what's that time going to be? 5 times 2 is going to be 10. And I keep going. Let's keep counting by 5. So we got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. All right, so what is my big hand pointing to? It's pointing to the 12. Okay? So when I write out the time, do I write 360? No, I don't write 360. Okay, if I look at it, the 12, although when we keep counting up, it goes to 60, it actually acts as 0. Okay? Once we hit the 12, we are starting the top of the hour. So, but therefore, the time that I show on here is actually going to be 3 o'clock. Now, is it AM or PM? That's right. On these kinds of clocks, it will not tell us if it's AM or PM. We have to know, like right now, it is a little after 3 o'clock, but it's in the afternoon. I'm not up doing this at 3 in the morning. So I know then that my time is PM just based off of how the day has gone. Okay? So, what we're going to do now, we're going to do a couple more of just trying to tell where the arrows go on the clock. Okay? I'm going to erase these hands that I have currently, and we're going to go through this list here and try to make our own. Okay? Let's start off nice. What time do we come in from recess in the morning to start our day? We come in at 8:20. Okay, so if I'm going to show 8:20 on the clock, where does my little hand have to point to represent the hours? Pause it if you need a couple of moments to think. Our answer is going to be 8. So I'm going to draw a little arrow to the 8. hand are minutes for our big hand. Where on here do I have 20? Because remember, we're doing 8, 20. This represents the amount of minutes that have passed during that hour. So if I do 8:20, where does my big hand have to go to? Again, pause if you need to think for a minute. It's going to go to the 4. Because we can see that if I take 4 times 5, it gives me 20, right? So we're going to bring this big hand down, and we're going to go to the 4. It's not perfect, but it's right there. Okay? So that's 8:20. Let's do another one. Let's do 12, whether it's noon or midnight. Where is my little hand going to go? That's right. It's going to go straight up towards the 12. Okay? There's my little hand. Okay? Now how about my big hand, the one that represents my minutes? Where's that one going to go? That is also going up towards the 12. So I'm just going to trace over that last arrow I drew and just make a bigger one. There we go. Now I've got 12 o'clock, whether it's midnight or noon. Okay? Let's do one more. All right, next we are going to do the time when we start cleaning up on Fridays from highlight time. We usually start cleaning up at around 2:55 here. Okay, so let's think about that. 2 is my hour. 55 is my minute. Where does my little hand have to go to represent hours? That's right. It's going to go to my 2 because that's going to be the hour spot. So I'm going to do a little arrow. Okay. Now how about 55? Am I going to go to the 7? Nope, that's only 35. How about the 9? I got to be getting closer, right? Closer, but not quite there. What number do I need to go to get 55? That's right. I got to go to the 11. 11 times 5 is going to give me 55. So I'm going to bring this down. And there we go. I've got 2:55, the time that we clean up highlight time. Okay? Now, what we're going to do, using our clock, we're going to talk about how long time passes. We call that elapsed time. Okay, we're going to talk about that now. Let's take a look. Well, let's do 2:55 from 3:10. So I'm going to put up the time that we just had. So I've got the little 2, and I've got 55. Okay? I want to know how many minutes pass when I go from 2:55 to 3:10. Okay? Does an entire hour pass during this time frame, going from 2:55 to 3:10? No, we do not have a whole hour that passes, because if you look, this number here is not greater than 50, so we can't have an entire hour that passes. Okay? So let's count by 5s instead. Let's see if maybe that'll help us figure out how much time has passed. So we start at 55, and we want to get to 10. So we want to get over to here. So let's count. We have 5, 10, 15. Was that an hour? Remember, we've got 60 minutes in an hour. So was this an hour? Nope, it wasn't. So from 2:55 to 3:10, we have moved 15 minutes. Okay? Now let's do 3:10 to 5:45. So again, big hand or little hand goes to the 3 to represent my hours. Big hand goes to the 10 to represent my minutes. I've got 3:10. Okay? Now I want to go to 5:45. Can I get a full hour in there from 3:10 to 5:45? Okay, can I go from 3:10 to 5:45 for a full hour? Well, let's check. So if I go from 3:10 and I go all the way around again, now I'm at 4:10. That's 1 hour. I'm going to keep a tally here. So, got 1 hour. Can I do another one? Let's see. We go from 4:10 to 5:10. Have I passed 5:45 yet? Nope, I haven't. So now I'm at 5:10. I'm going to move this arrow down. We're going to bring him down to here now so I know. Now I'm at 5:10. Can I get another hour in? Nope, I cannot. If I do another hour, it's going to be 6:10, and that's too far, right? So now we're going to go from the 10, we're going to count to the 45 by 5s. Okay, here we go. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we've got 35 minutes that have passed. How many hours did I have again? We look here, I've got 2 hours. So from 3:10 to 5:45, it is 2 hours and 35 minutes. Okay. Time is a pretty easy concept if we just don't overthink it. Remember, your big hand is going to point towards your minutes. The big hand, you need to multiply by 5 to figure out your total. Your little hand is going to represent whatever number it falls by. Okay? So your homework assignment for today with this video, I want you to tell me what time you started your homework, what time you finished your homework, and then with those 2 times, draw yourself a clock. Draw a clock and show what time it was. Don't draw a box that's got the numbers. I want you to draw a circle like this, number it, and then show me what time you started your homework, you ended it, how long it took you to do your homework. Remember to count up the hours first, see how many hours you can get, and then count up the minutes. And again, show it on a clock. Don't show the elapsed time, the time that you counted up. Don't show that on a clock, but show me the time that you started your homework and the time you finished your homework. Show that one on a clock, please. Again, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I can't wait to see how much time we put in on our homework and see how we are with clocks. Have a great day.